It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Welcome on in, folks. We are here at Road America in the LMP3 car. Starting in the back. Didn't have the best of qualifying. Didn't get a full lap in. So we're starting here in P13 for the 2-hour race at Road America. The LMP3 and GT4 cars. You can see I'm trying to get a little more heat in the tires for the pending carnage that usually comes on lap 1. Try and get a little more grip. You can see leaving a little bit more space so that way when carnage does happen, I have a little bit more reaction time. Coming down here to the left-hander, it's always carnage, but somehow everyone seems to make it through. Heading down into the carousel for the first time. This corner is going to prove to be contentious a little bit today. Heading down into 11, which isn't really a turn for us. It's a turn for the GT4s. They have to lift. And here we're going to make up our first on-track position. Nice up the inside. I've been working on pushing on, every time I do an outlap, I've been working on pushing as hard as I can to maximize the amount of time I have the ability to make up when I need to. Sometimes it's worth pushing on the first lap, and sometimes it's not. So lap 2, everything's starting to warm up a little bit. Everyone's kind of coming into their window, feeling a little more confident. As we can see, the rocks get tossed everywhere. Heading down to turn 5. And here comes the carnage. There's one death. So we made up we got a couple of freebies out of that. Which I will never say no to a freebie position. Heading back into the carousel again. Feeling a little more froggy on the throttle. And at this point, everyone's kind of settling in. After lap 2, everyone, they, especially in the sprints, when, after, the first 2 or 3 laps, everyone really just kind of settles into race mode and goes from there. I had a sniff up the inside here, like, let's see let's see if he buckles. But he was focused on his race, and I had to wait until the straight and get a draft on him. Even though he got the better exit, I got the draft, so that works from there. And after that, it was a little bit. So we're going to fast forward a little bit and catch up with the later action. As you can see, this is lap 5. we've made up the P9 between the couple of on-track passes and some freebies. So 4 spots in 2 laps. I'll take it as a good start. So I'm coming down here to turn 2 or turn 3. I don't consider that little downhill thing after 1 much of a turn. It's more of a suggestion. Taking a left on 5, which actually was not as much of a problem as it had been for me in the last few days. And turn 6. I think I got a little bit, been getting a little bit better line through turn 6, which helped set me up for the pass there at 8. And then round the carousel we go again. I seem to be getting better results with the carousel with a quick full lift. Like drive in deep with it and then just get 1 full lift off the pedal to let the car rotate and then get back in the throttle. Seemed to me to stick better than some other people were able to make it run better with a partial lift. So again, it's always up to your driving style. Everyone's a little bit different and can't always run the exact same line with the exact same braking. Doesn't always work. So with that said, let's move on to didn't make up any more spots after that. Got a freebie right there. We're just now starting to come up to the first round of GT traffic. And first round of GT traffic is always fun because they are still very much bunched up. There'll be a few stragglers hanging back, either from earlier spins or like earlier incidents in the race, or the people that are out in front that just took off. There's always like one core pack in the middle that are always really tight together. And it's that section is very difficult to not try and push a pass with the GT cars because your speed is incredibly fast in the LMPs at that point. So if you slow down for a GT car, that from the carousel, anywhere from the carousel all the way down to like 13, you're losing seconds, multiple seconds a lap. You'll see that a little bit later on, how much the closing speed matters when it comes to getting through traffic on the back side of the track. And here I'm just trying to keep as much distance and give the GTs as much room as I can possibly give them. Because I don't know a lot of these drivers. I don't know their skill level. And I assume none of them see me. Oh, we got some more carnage off on the right. That was, I believe that was he was trying to go into the braking zone and jumped in front and kind of got run over. Right here, I felt it was just safer to go down the inside. And it definitely, it was the safer way, but it was not the faster way. I probably could have carried more speed going around the outside. But the GT car's natural racing line is going to have them drift out wide in the carousel. Just like, I mean, the LMPs, we bring the car out to the curb, use all the track we can. But the GT cars, the only way for them to make that corner with speed is to let the car drift. And we got caught up a little bit. So here we are, jumped on forward because we were basically through the GT cars. Jumped up to lap 13. We're now in P6. And nothing particularly crazy about this lap, except that I was absolutely in the zone at this point. And tires were warm. Car was feeling absolutely amazing. The track was very grippy, super fast. And I didn't even realize until after I had finished the lap, actually, that I was running purple laps. As you can see on my telemetry down there, it's showing purple. Well, this isn't the fastest lap of the race. It was definitely my personal best. This lap was. And you'll see later on, I make another like actual attempt to go for the fastest lap near the end. But right now, yeah, we were just in the zone. I was trying to close this gap a little bit to the cars in front. There was no traffic. There was no nothing. We were just, at this point in the race, we were just on, or I wasn't exactly on conserve mode. I was pushing at this point because it was go mode. And everyone else was either in fuel save mode or just on race pace. But we definitely had more pace than most people. Most of the cars around me during the entirety of this race. And that is the fastest lap of the race so far. So jumping on ahead to lap 16, you can see the same two cars. They'd been fighting a little bit in front of me. They were swapping positions. This is the second go through of the GT cars that were coming up on here. Everyone had been very, very respectful racing the entire time. Part of the reason I like doing the 2-hour endurance challenges is the people that are committing to sitting down for 2 hours are trying to make sure they're sitting down and racing for 2 hours. So they're generally keeping a little bit more of an eye out. I mean, people still make moves that they shouldn't make or craziness like that. Here's the example when I talk about, like, I had to go. I didn't want to send it 3 wide there, but the amount of time I would have lost to look how far ahead. They pulled a good second on me just going through the carousel. I do not know how that still was not an off track, but I would take it. But as you can see, traffic, the great equalizer, up ahead there brought me right back into the fight. And instead of them getting 1.5, almost 2 seconds away, it brings you right back in the fight. Sometimes it works, and sometimes you just get eaten up by traffic, and there's nothing you can do about it. And as you can see, more traffic going into turn one helps me out, brings them even 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, brings me even closer into them to the pack. And then again, heading down the morning sweep, straight sweep, however you want to call it. Again, I was getting much better exits out of 5 and 6 than most of the other, but it just felt like I could not put a tire wrong. And again, that GT car, that going through the carousel helped keep me in touch with these guys. And to the point where I'm now, right on their bump air. Which I did have to lift a little bit there. The car was feeling like it was pushing to the understeering a little bit. And you can see right there, coming out of turn 14, how much a GT car can slow you down. Now it's time for the pits. I'm jumping on in for our first pit stop of the day, taking full fuel, full tires.
I'm thirsty. Refreshing.
Because if you're taking a full tank of gas, you might as well take the full tires, because it takes longer to fuel the car than it does to put tires on. So you're going to be fueling either way. Just put 4 tires on. All right, so a quick 26 gallons later, couple tires, we're back out on track. We did drop down a few spots. I mean, you're obviously going to drop down a little bit with fuel cycle and everything. Some people are going to try and go long. Some people short fuel, so they'll pit early and only take like half a tank. So they'll split their 2 stops. Instead of doing 1 full tank and a splash of fuel, they'll split the amount of fuel they need for the entire race into the 2 stops. So they'll take one, instead of 1 long and 1 super short pit stop, they'll take 2 a little longer. As you can see here, outlap, we came out into traffic. Not the best situation. I was hoping to have put a little more space between us and the pack of GT cars, but we did come out in the middle of some of them, which didn't affect us in reality, because my other challengers around me were pitting at the same time. So all right, so the rest of this outlap was uneventful, and everyone basically settled right back into where they were and was right back on pace. So let's head on up ahead and see what happens. Lap 48, currently P3. So I want to talk about this spot that's about to happen right here with this GT car in the carousel. We had been talking earlier about going wide on the outside of the carousel, that it could be a bit of a hazard because the GT cars have to wash out wide. And old boy decided to hold himself as close as he could to the curb.
Box.
On to lap 48, still in P3, heading in for the splash and dash. And this splash and dash was a little spicy. So, yep, as you guys can see right there, I stepped in it. You'll actually see me, you'll see us chatting back and forth in the bottom left on voice comms. I felt horrible. He should have been in P3, and we could have fought it out till the end because I do believe I was the faster driver. I absolutely could have caught him back up, because I would have only been about a second down the road, if not side by side, had I just gone in defensive right off the bat, left the car with.
It's hammer time.
So last lap here, still in P3, and at this point, I saw the last few laps that I kept going purple. It's hammer time. I'm going to make an all-out attempt at getting the fastest lap. Five and six, I got a nice run. It's been purple basically the entire lap. I'm pushing as you can hear through the carousel how much harder I'm pushing it. Like how much later I got off throttle. I really wanted this lap. I'd been rapid all day. The track was absolutely rapid all day. And coming up to one of the last braking points that I was decent at all day, coming through at Canada Corner. Corner 13. 14, I'd always been pretty good. Coming down the straight. And then all of a sudden, it turns green.
Get in there. What a race.
I had missed out on the fastest lap by 1/100th of a second to the car in front of me. Great race. This was by far one of my favorite endurance races I've done to date. This is absolutely now my best favorite track combination. All right, folks, that's all we got for today. I will see you guys later in the next one. Remember, folks, like and subscribe for more of that glorious racing footage.